Hello, today I will be opening up a Oko Planeswalker deck from Throne of Eldraine, as well as 2 loose booster packs. So, I opened up the Rowan deck, I think, a while back, and I figured today would be a pretty good day to open the Oko one. Throne of Eldraine is rotating out soon, and it's probably going to be remembered as a pretty good set, especially all the broken cards that were printed in it. Pretty cool looking deck box as well. So, let's start with looking at the Planeswalker. Oko the Trickster. It's not the broken Oko, the 3-mana one. And yeah, this one's not particularly good. I don't think the Rowan Planeswalker was all that good either. And yeah, for a 6-drop, it's not very playable. But I like to collect Planeswalkers, as many as I could get. And next I'll start with the deck. I'll share the code at the end after the packs. So I actually haven't looked at the deck list for this, so I'm going to be pretty much surprised on what I get here. Wildborn Preserver, decent green 2-drop. It hasn't seen really all that much play. It's been played at times in various decks, but it's always been like one of the weaker cards. And Return of the Wildspeaker. This is actually a good pull. This is very playable in Commander. I think it was reprinted in Commander Legends, maybe, but I'm not too sure. It was reprinted recently. Definitely a good pull. And Oko's Hospitality. Creatures you control have base power and toughness of 3/3 until end of turn, and then you may search you search for Oko. Yeah, this one's pretty weak. The Planeswalker decks always have 2 of these cards that search out the Planeswalker. I think these are somewhat weak. I would assume this deck would have then a lot of little creatures. Yeah, a lot of fairies. And Beanstalk Giant, that's a pretty good uncommon. So this deck is basically about transforming your little creatures into big creatures, even when you look at a card like Bramblefort Fink. I think this might be a Planeswalker exclusive card, because I don't think I've ever seen this anywhere. And let's look at the spells. Frogify. Definitely seen that a lot. And just cards explaining the rules and on an adventure. So I actually don't think this deck is all that bad, especially after seeing Return of the Wildspeaker included. It's a card that's pretty good for Commander. And start with the packs. Ikoria, of course, being the least exciting. I'll open that first. And the rare is Song of Creation. Pretty cool card. It can be used to do a lot of insane things, like drawing your whole deck, especially if you play it in, I think, a deck that has a lot of 0-drops. And then you can win with Thassa's Oracle or something like that. So, pretty interesting rare. And Throne of Eldraine. I think it's out of print already, but It's a set that I think will age well, since it was, even when it was in print, it was very heavily opened. And a lot of people like the flavor and theme of it. And Piper of the Swarm. I have a lot of these because I think they were included in the bundles as the promo rare, basically. In a rat commander deck you would play this, but it's not all that useful anywhere else. Bartered Cow. Don't remember that common. Revenge of the Ravens. Pretty cool. This was played... I played this to counter Cavalcade decks a while back in Standard. In one deck that I had. Trail of Crumbs. Very good uncommon. And Torbrand. Nice. Pretty good rare. It's been reprinted in a lot of places. And in one of my collector packs I opened for Throne of Eldraine, I pulled a full art foil extended that I would probably prefer using over this regular one in Commander. And let's see if we could get a Jeweled Lotus. Always got to remember that there's, good common, Findhorn Elves. That there's 20 cards in these packs. And the Revenant, is that a rat? It's eating a rabbit. Not again, Hans. And Body of Knowledge. Not particularly all that good for a rare. And let's see. And a foil Slith Ascendant. I think this was from Mirrodin, if I recall correctly. So, nothing too special in these packs, but it's always fun opening a Planeswalker deck to get a Planeswalker that I don't have yet. And I'm sure you're mostly watching for the code, so if you're the first person, this might be useful to try. If you're one of the first few people watching. Alright, thanks for watching, and until next time.